Hello grade 6s. Today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to multiply decimals with pencil and paper. So what we've been doing is you've been multiplying with blocks, which is a great strategy. Problem is we don't always carry blocks in our pockets, and you've also probably noticed that some numbers, when you start multiplying, you just use so many blocks it becomes really tedious to work with. In some ways we just need to learn a process that we can do this where we don't have to carry blocks around and use so many blocks at times. So first thing I just want to talk to you about is I just want to multiply kind of like a single digit number by another single digit number, but the first number is going to be a decimal number. So first number here is 0.5 times 6. Now how would we go about doing this? Well, this is what I would say for us to do. First thing you need to do is multiply the 5 and 6, which gives us 30. Now, here's the thing that I want you to think about. How many decimal places are there here in this question? And the answer is there is 1 decimal place. So therefore, our answer needs to have 1 decimal place. So the decimal is going to go between here, between the 3 and the 0. So therefore, 0.5 times 6 gives us 3.0, essentially 3. So half of 6 is 3. Okay. Another way of thinking of this is you could think of this is I have 5 tenths, and we're multiplying it by 6. So therefore, I've got 30 tenths. So therefore, the tenths decimal place, if you remember this, is the first one after the decimal place. So therefore the 0 of the 30 will go in there, and the 3 will go in front of it. So I've got 30 tenths, 3.0. Next one here, same kind of thing. You got a single digit times another single digit, so multiply your 7 times 4, which gives us 28. These should be lightning fast by now. Now, one way you can think of this is how many decimal places do we have? We have 1, 2 decimal places. So therefore, our answer needs to have 2 decimal places. So here's 1, here's 2. So I'm going to put the decimal place in front, so I've got 2 decimal places, and I just fill the front with a 0. Another way you can think of this is I've got 7 hundredths times 4. That gives me 28 hundredths. And you can see this is how I would write 28 hundredths. Tenths place, hundredths place, and you can see I just put the 8 in at the hundredths and the 2 fills in the tenths. Let's move into the next one. 9 times 7 gives us 63. How many decimal places do I have? 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 decimals. So therefore my answer should have 3 decimals. Now here's the thing, I only have 2 digits. So what I do is I fill another 0 onto this side. So the 3 has to be in that thousandths place. So I have to fill in a 0 in front of the 6, but my decimal place, now I've got 3 decimal places, and I just fill a 0 in the front. Okay. Same thing you can do here. We've got 9 thousandths. Multiplying it by 7, you can see that gives me 63 thousandths. This is the thousandths place, so the 3 goes in the thousandths place. If you can do that, multiplying decimals, I think you're going to find is fairly straightforward. Move to the next page. So in this case here, we can do this question here. Few ways we can set this up. One way is do 0.432 multiply by 4. It's kind of like we're stacking. And this is what I'm going to end up doing here. Okay, I'm going to ask myself, so here's my little thought bubble. I'm going to break this number up top here into different numbers. So the first thing I want to do is I have 4 tenths. Okay, everyone see I can have 4 tenths, and I'm multiplying that by 4. So we know that 4/10 times 4 is 4 times 4 is 16, and there's one decimal place, so it's 1.6. So I'm going to write on this line 1.6. And I'm going to line up my decimal point. I didn't do a great job there, but right below that decimal point. So I keep things in order. Next thing I do, I have 3 hundredths. So I'm just going to write this here, 0.03 times 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. There's 2 decimal places, so my answer needs 2. 1, 2. So my decimal goes in front, and I get 0.12. Now, my decimal place here is just going to go right below this decimal place. So I'm going to put the 0 in front, 1 and 2. Next one, we're almost there. 0.002. I've got 2 thousandths times 4. 2 times 4 gives me 8, but that needs to be in the thousandths place. So I need to put, here's my hundredths, here's my tenths, here's my decimal, there's my other one. So it's 0.008. So I'm going to now take this and put it here. Reminder, I want my decimals lined up perfectly. So 0.008. Last step is, I'm going to add these up together. Now, you're going to notice I don't have anything in these spots here after the 6, so I can just fill in zeros if that makes you feel better. And after the 2 here, I can fill in a 0 there. So 0 plus 0 plus 8 gives me 8. 0 plus 2 plus 0 gives me 2. 6 plus 1 plus 0 gives me 7. And 1 plus 0 plus 0 gives me 1. So my answer of 432 thousandths times 4 is 1 728 thousandths. You can see we get the answer there. For some of us, you may prefer a grid on this one, and you can do this with a grid. Okay. All we're going to do is we're going to break up our number, 432 thousandths. We're going to break it up and write it in expanded form. So we're going to have 0.4 in the first spot. We're going to have 0.03 in the second. We're going to have 0.002 in the third. And then on this side, just like we were doing multiplying, we put 4. So first thing we ask ourselves is, what is 0.4 times 4? We've already done that. That's 1.6. What's 4 times 0.03? We did it up there, 0.12. Last one here, 0.002 times 4 gives us 0.008. And you can see the last step is when I'm multiplying using an array, I just add them up. 1.6, 0.12, 0.008. Remember, those decimals have to be in the same spot. Fill in zeros if you need. Add them up. 8, 2, 7, 1. You can see you get your answer there. Same answer. So a couple different ways to doing the thing that we're doing here today. Multiplying decimals by a whole number. Hopefully this helps. Good luck.